I'm Dr. John DeMartini. I'd like to take just a moment to talk to you about a brand new book called Reboot Your Life. This book is basically filled with great ideas from great minds on how to achieve, how to do exactly what you love in life and get rewarded in life. If you have a situation where you have dreams and you're not quite sure how to get there, or maybe you're in transition from some place in your life to the next step that you want to go to, and you want to get clear on it and you want to take the action steps to achieve, the book is definitely for you. Now, I've been blessed to have one of the chapters in there. My chapter is titled, My Journey from Chiropractor to International Professional Speaker. Now, I had a dream when I was 18 years old to travel the world and be a teacher, a healer, and a philosopher. I'm now going on 62, so I've been doing that now for 43 plus years. And I made the transition from being a surfer, living in a tent, to do what I do today, traveling the world, because I applied the principles that are outlined in this book. What I did is I basically broke my big dream down into small bites and took baby action steps and made sure that my goals were aligned with what I really valued, my highest values, the thing that was most inspiring, that I spontaneously want to get up in the morning and do. There's no reason why you can't do the same. It's a matter of deciding what it is that's really important to you, what's really valuable to you, and taking the priority action steps, delegating lower priority things, and getting on with what's really meaningful to you. This book is definitely filled with ideas on how to make that transition if you're in transition, or to take those actions if you're ready to go to the next level of your dream. I just want to let you know that I'm inspired to be part of this book. I know that the book can make a difference in your life. You definitely want to get a copy. And someday along the line, we'll be able to break bread and talk about the achievements that you've made, and you can be as inspired as I am today about living the life that you actually dream about. So get the book, Reboot Your Life, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the future.
Hey, I'm Susie Mackey. My life story was pretty challenging. I grew up with not a very good self-worth. And I know this is a very common problem or challenge for a lot of people, not just women. My self-esteem didn't improve as I married once, then twice, and then a third time. In fact, my self-esteem with the failure of each marriage spiraled lower and lower. Because of my low self-worth as a teenager, I made the wrong sort of choices in life. I didn't know what I wanted to do as a career, and I probably had regrets about this lack of choice and lack of direction. I have to say now, at the age of 58, I'm in the best place I've ever been. I love my life, I love myself, and that's been part of the journey for me. What really made a difference was going to college as a mature student and doing a degree. I've always been creative, and so I chose to do a degree in photography. I wanted to take better pictures of my two beautiful daughters as they grew up. And I did. And then I fell in love with photographing people. During my degree, divorce number 2 came along. My husband had an affair. Probably like many women, I always thought that I wouldn't fight for my marriage, but I did. But anyway, that's all history. I came away with a first. I really wanted a first. Nothing else would do. It gave me a huge amount of confidence that I could really do something well. So I combined my love of photography with my love of people, and I am now a passionate photographer of people. My heart is in the power of the boudoir. I absolutely love working with my clients who come to me lacking in self-esteem, lacking in confidence, and really needing to find that place within themselves where they can walk away feeling bright, shiny, eyes glittering, walking taller. They really, really do tell me that it's changed their lives. And that's pretty magical in a space of 3 hours, that I can help somebody change their lives. And so what I've been through my life has meaning now. It means that I can use those experiences, work with my clients. I have a huge amount of empathy. We have a huge amount of fun. I now am in the best place I've ever been, and I'm intending to turn my sensuality into a national brand. And if that doesn't take confidence, I'm not sure what does. So best place I've ever been at the age of 58. I can highly recommend going to college as a mature student. It's never too late to learn, It's never too late to change your career. It's never too late to decide that in life, that's where you want to go. You want to have a clear direction. And as I say with my sensuality, there is no expiry date on sensuality and beauty. You can find out more at my website, mysensuality.co.uk. And I'm really very happy to hear from anybody who want to just talk through what they've been through, and if my way, because it's only one way, of helping you feel more confident and improving your self-worth, which for me is where it all stems, then I'd love to hear from you. Susie Mackey, My Sensuality. Have a great life. Reboot.
It's amazing what you can do when you put your mind to it. Yep, we've all heard it right. Only when you've no choice, or maybe better put, it's your only choice to live any sort of feasible life. These simple words take on a whole new meaning. And for me personally, this is my life. I mean, just to get out of bed in the morning, it takes 2 hours. And then if I want to leave the house, it often takes several days planning. But hey, I'm still smiling. And all the same, as you can see, achieving things has that whole new meaning. Only, why is this so? Am I really that lazy? Well, I'm a quadriplegic with countless high medical needs. I can't move, I can't eat, I can't live at home. In fact, I can barely breathe or even talk. In case you're wondering, my contribution to this video is being read by one of the team at Lovely Silks Publishing. And yes, I'm still here, alive and kicking. See, my illness has threatened my life on numerous occasions, even at times on a daily basis. But mate, that big fellow up top, I reckon he's keeping me around for a reason. And well, I suppose it's also true that I do have a lot to pass on from a lived experience. In Reboot Your Life, I'll be talking about some of these experiences. I am for all things a daydreamer, a larrikin, and an undeniable fighter. I advocate for both adversity and Lyme disease, and boast a real passion for green living, nutrition, and organic foods. Plus, I'm a life coach with a prior background in marketing and advertising. Only now I have more recent aspirations that include becoming a published author. And when I'm well enough, I'm also ticking off my bucket list and volunteering with the Starlight Children's Foundation. I'm an ACIM student, an adventurer, and a sneaker collector. My dream is to one day get better and perhaps ride a bicycle around Australia.
I took a journey of 6,000 miles to become an independent woman living an independent life. And guess what? I made it. Yes, my life was looking all nice and beautiful and all set. But little did I know that when my life was all set, as I thought, I would face a loss of identity. Yes, a loss of identity of myself, my life, and my existence. My life began to go downhill, and I kept rolling down and down until I hit this very rock bottom in my life and realized that, hang on, I cannot go down any more further, and I cannot beat myself down any more further. From this bottommost part of my life, I learned things about myself that I never knew existed in me. I never knew that I had the courage, the drive, the resilience, and the indispensable desire to live an extraordinary life. And you know what? That was the biggest gift of my life. When I rebooted my life, I discovered my sacred purpose. My name is Janita D'Souza, and I am the creator of Exploring Femininity, a place for busy women to reconnect with their femininity, their sensuality, so that they can experience more energy, enthusiasm, and pleasure in their everyday life without any burnouts. And all I can say to you is, when you feel that your life is falling apart, it may be falling together for the first time.
Hi, I was delighted to actually be asked to do this video about rebooting your life, because 2 years ago I had to completely reboot mine. For me, when I started facing health challenges and financial ruin, and when it all came to a grinding halt, when I lost my home and businesses through bankruptcy, and my health was so poor that I could hardly walk, I realised that actually I had been stripped of everything for a reason, and I needed to find what was it that had caused me to get to that stage. And I think sometimes we go down a route because we feel that it's the right thing to do, and in actual fact, it doesn't serve us, it serves other people, and that's what I was doing. Ironically, I write about this in my book, and it came to that point where I suddenly realised the only thing I had left was my book. It was the only asset I had, and it was still in the publishing stage, so I had no money to actually publish it. So I realised that I had to trust in the process. If I'd been stripped of all of this, if I'd gone through that process, there must have been a good reason for it. And sure enough, applying the techniques that I teach other clients into my world, it started to turn a very serious situation into something magical. Now today, 2 years on, I'm in a beautiful position where I am just about to embark on a massive opportunity to go with a literary agent in Florida who wants to take this out globally. And not only that, she's asked me to write 2 further books. You know, as I say, everybody can at some level find that spark of hope to actually open the doors of opportunity, which is to reboot your life. So my name's Amanda Hart. I'm an intuitive consultant, and I'm an author of The Guys Upstairs. I'm currently writing the sequel and a book on how to find your power and voice. And in that, I talk about rebooting your life. If I can leave any nuggets of insight for people, I would always say, regardless of your current situation, always keep the doors of faith open. Always know that you're worthy. Keep that door open too, because it's no good asking and not having the doors open to receive. And finally, take action, because when you are at the darkest hour, you can sometimes find the greatest opportunity to actually pull yourself out and find a tow rope to get you to where you need to be. So best of luck, everybody, and thank you for listening.
Do you feel tired, anxious, stressed, overwhelmed? Maybe like you're living on autopilot sometimes? Well, I know exactly how you feel, at least the old me does. You see, I've been your typical type A personality all my life, constantly multitasking, overachiever, people-pleasing, always being really busy, and I led a very stressful life. About 5 years ago, I was working in a corporate space, a very demanding role, and I never took time to realize how my busy, imbalanced, intense life was actually affecting my health. I started experiencing daily migraines, brain fog, energy levels were all over the place, and I was constantly getting sick. It took me to be diagnosed with chronic fatigue syndrome, left bedridden with aches and pains all over my body, to finally wake up and see I needed to change. Although it wasn't that fast of a decision. I stayed in this space for quite a while, and it was quite a depressing time. Everything I had worked so hard to build with my career, with my family, with my life, all of a sudden I had no energy and no motivation to actually enjoy it. But I realized that I had a choice. I had 2 choices. I could either choose to continue living in this victim mindset where I felt a little bit sorry for myself, or I could choose to take control of my health. And I'm so glad that that's what I did. I just made the choice that I actually didn't want to live my life feeling exhausted and stressed out every day. I wanted to wake up with energy and enthusiasm and excitement, and go to bed feeling relaxed and at peace. So I studied yoga and meditation. I studied nutrition, and I researched many areas of science and health to really discover how to get my health back. And not only was I able to recover from chronic fatigue, but I'm now more energetic, resilient, motivated, and positive than I've ever been before. And so I started Recipe for Health, my business, because it really is about discovering the ingredients for a healthy, successful, and happy life. And now I get to partner with workplaces to help their busy employees get back in control. So my name's Rosanna Lauria. My website is recipeforhealth.com.au. I'd love for you to check it out. And I hope you really enjoy reading my journey in the chapter of this book, Reboot Your Life. I hope you get some great insights, and I'd love for you to connect with me.
I think the most important thing that I've learned about living a life of your dreams, about rebooting your life, is that things don't always go the way that you think that they will. We all know about affirmations, about the importance of goal setting, about how important it is to visualize. One of the things that we don't think about and certainly don't want to know about is the storms that come along in life. And yet, when we look outside at nature, when we have a look at the beautiful cliff faces and the shapes of the trees in the forests and out in the paddocks, so much of what has given them their beauty is the fact that they weathered the storms. They've had the howling winds, they've had the pouring rains, they've had the harsh summer sun beating down on them, and it's actually what has formed them and created and shown us the actual beauty that's there. None of us want the storms in life, and yet it's what teaches, it gives us character and teaches us so much. I know when I visualized my life and my perfect dream, I certainly hadn't planned on the storms, but I've learned so much. And what I'd encourage you to do when the storms come along in your life or in your dreams is to persevere, is to hang in there, is to go with your gut feeling. I'd encourage you, if this is new to you, if you're just starting out on your journey, live the life of your dreams. Be the best you. Be the best version of you that you can possibly be. You deserve it. You deserve to have and to be everything that you can be. There is such satisfaction. There is such happiness. There is such a sense of purpose when you're living a life that you designed, that you're doing what you want to do, when you're being who you want to be. I've never known such freedom in my spirit. I've never known such a sense of, I wake up in the mornings and I just want to roll over and tickle the person next to me and say, hey, aren't you just glad we're alive? I love my life and I love what I do for my work. I love that I can go to work and it doesn't feel like work. My name is Angela Clifford. I've opened a shop called Three Wise Mums in Cobargo, New South Wales, Australia. We make and sell natural skincare products, and by now you've probably guessed our secret ingredients: passion and enthusiasm. I hope that you'll call into the shop and see us and have a chat.
5 years ago, I thought I was a normal, healthy person. I had a great life CV. I was playing hockey for the New South Wales women's team, working in a brilliant corporate job. I had great family and friends and a social network. I would wine and dine and maybe wine a little bit too much. And I fueled my body with whatever foods I wanted based on my very limited knowledge with no consideration at all as to what it was doing to me. I thought because I was focused on doing so much and achieving so much in my life, and I was doing what every normal person was doing, I would be fine, right? I was wrong. So in 2011, I was bedridden for 6 months with chronic fatigue syndrome. And the journey back to health and recovery took me many, many years. I had to change my belief system. I had to change my lifestyle and change my whole perspective on what was important in life. That meant quitting my job, quitting hockey, moving back in with my parents, having absolutely no money at all, and then having to start again from scratch. But my journey of healing was one of the best things that happened to me, and it was a blessing in disguise. And it led me to become a certified holistic health coach, which is what I do now. My name is Desiree Taylor. I am the founder of Free Yourself Holistic Health Coaching, and I want to help empower and inspire other women to make changes in their life that serve them well so they can become their best self. And that often has to start with rebooting your life. The journey of 1,000 miles is a long process, and it can be challenging, and regaining your health can be difficult at times. But small steps, moving forward, and always believing in yourself can make it happen, because it is possible, and health is possible, happiness is possible, and you deserve it all.
My name is Jeremy Walker. My chapter is about my journey of transformation. In 2008, I travelled to Airlie Beach, Queensland to start my new life. What ended up happening was I developed chronic fatigue syndrome, had general anxiety, my health went way downhill, and I found out my son of 10 months was not mine. During this time I had immense stress and challenges. This chapter is about how I rebooted my health, my relationships, and started my business from scratch during this time with no money. What I learnt was about love and about gratitude. Whereas other things in life are temporary, love and gratitude are enduring.
Consumed by fear, I wondered what I was going to do now. He wanted to leave, and it would have been kinder to let him go. But the reality was that I was scared of who I'd become, since becoming so embroiled in this overwhelming relationship. I had started to feel like everything and everyone were passing me by, like I was watching from the sidelines, as others got by and achieved what they wanted, whilst I, on the other hand, was stuck in a series of daily habits that had become the coping mechanisms I used to distract myself, because I just couldn't muster the enthusiasm to do what I really needed to. Once it was finally over, I knew that it was probably going to take me some time to recover. But a reluctance to go down the conventional therapy route led me to a rather unusual way to soothe my emotions and cure my need to please. Today, I'm happy to comfortably spend time alone and with people that I choose to be with, because I've worked out a strategy that helps me understand the expectations I hold within myself around people and situations, and my knowledge and support around this has come from an everyday source, something that can be used from the safety of your sofa. But you'll have to read my chapter, The C Word, to find out what it is.
Are You Unstoppable? A chapter which is featured in Reboot Your Life, where I share with you some personal insights on an extremely dark time of my life where I had quit my corporate job, my partner and I had separated, and I was parenting 2 children under the age of 4. Now, what was I thinking starting a business? I don't know. I'll let you be the judge of that when you actually read the chapter. But what I want to highlight is how I actually transformed my life. Fast forward time, here I am sharing with you what I did. But it all started with looking within myself and asking myself, what is it that I need to do? What is it that I want to achieve? And where do I see my life in the next few years? So it all starts with you. And you asking yourself, what is it that I want? What am I willing to do to achieve the end goal? So think about that the next time that you feel a little bit challenged. Maybe you might be going through something right about now. Whatever that might be, take control of the situation. Take it within yourself to go, I am going to make that change. I am going to push through and succeed, because you are genuinely unstoppable if you're willing to do the work and actually take control. So I hope you enjoy the read. My name is Samantha Jansen. I'm a speaker, an author, and a business owner in Melbourne. Enjoy the read.
Hi, my name's Jodie. I wrote the chapter called Create the Life You Love. This is just a quick little taste for you to tell you what it's about. The title came from this painting that I did a while back. And you can see it has a similar message, and that's hanging on my bedroom door. So every day I get to see that and read it and reaffirm the positive message it has. I feel that being someone who suffered with depression and social anxiety from a very young age, I find it very useful to try and surround myself with positive reminders as much as I can. I hope by sharing my story with other people who may have experienced similar feelings and struggled with similar challenges can relate with me, and I hope that I can be an inspiration and an example of a positive outcome, and to give you hope that you can get to a better place, and it is possible to not only get through it but also to flourish. Art for me was the tool. It's really been what's helped bring me out of myself. It's given me confidence. It's been therapy. It's been so many things. Throughout my life, it's been the one thing that has really been a constant. And it's only as I've got older and got more experienced and our relationship has grown that I've taken it further and further, and now I'm in a really, really positive place with it, and I get now to share my paintings and drawings. I do murals, I paint furniture, and the most rewarding part of it now is that it's not just therapy for me, it's also really healing, and it helps so many other people. I find it has such a soothing effect really for people that are maybe vulnerable, ill, disadvantaged, creating a whole new atmosphere with a painting on a wall or in a shared space. That's where the circle of giving can keep growing and expanding, and that's what I hope that I can do with sharing my story in this chapter, that it's going to reach more people, it's going to inspire you, hopefully help and spread the message further and spread my art to more and more people. So yeah, thank you for listening and I hope it helps. Bye.
I am so glad you found this book, Reboot Your Life. It is such an amazing compilation of people's stories that had to restart their life in often adverse situations and had made the most of it. It is simply amazing. My story was going to tell you about how to migrate to another country, how to deal with marriage breakdowns or becoming a single parent, or even changing careers several times over. I have been there and done that. However, instead of telling you the do's and don'ts of any of those situations, I decided to go another way. And the reason for that is because I was writing my story, I found that in any of the situations I created a change in, I was always looking for someone else to show me what outcome they got, or how they made the change, or what is it that they are now doing and how is it better. You know, that the grass is greener on the other side sort of situation. So instead of telling you what I did and what I think you should or should not do, I decided to look at it from an emotional angle, to let you know what the emotions were that came about when I made changes. So instead of telling you do this or do that in a marriage breakdown or migrating or changing careers, I decided to bring you awareness to you, to look at your situation now, to look at what the emotions in your life now, and to help you realize if it's time for a change or if you're staying somewhere that you don't need to be. Whether you're making decisions in your life based on others' expectations or whether you're doing it for yourself. Because really in life, you have to create your own decisions based on your needs and your wants. It cannot be based on anyone else's. So I put some thought-provoking questions in there as well to help you look at whether or not there is any pleasure or pain driving you forward, or if there is any fear that is holding you back from living the life of your dreams. While my challenges seemed painful at the time, I am very grateful I had them, because now the wisdom and the knowledge I have gained I am using to help others. My name is Ursula Bartelis. I am a success coach at Unlimited Results, and I set a goal for myself to inspire 10,000 people to break through their limiting beliefs and to create a life of their dreams whilst becoming the best version of themselves. So in this book, in my chapter, I hope I can help you put you on your path. Enjoy the reading.
Have you ever felt lost in your life? Have you ever felt falling to the bottom of the earth without knowing how to stop your fall? Well, I did. I found myself at a point in my life where I was at a dead-end job. I realized that I needed to change my career. My marriage was like a cage where I was actually dying rather than thriving. And I felt so depressed that I had to do something to change my life fast if I wanted to survive it and enjoy it again. All this happened very fast. I was made redundant at work. I broke up from my husband and I needed to look into my career change. I lost my social background because it was connected with my working life and my marriage. And besides, my family was living abroad, so I didn't have any support. From a self-assured and confident woman, highly educated and speaking 4 languages, I became a very shy, insecure, discontent and depressed lady who didn't know what to do next in her life. The divorce process was long and devastating for me. I had to face the dark night of the soul before seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, as they say. And the thing that bothered me the most was the fact that I couldn't imagine my next chapter. So all caused me to really go deep, deep down into myself to search for who Gabriella was. I wrote this chapter, The Phoenix Rises from the Ice in Antarctica, for the book Reboot Your Life, because we all need to reboot our life at some point in time. So when we find that what we are creating is not exactly what we want, and so we start being in pain, it's very difficult to see the light on the other side. So I learned a lot from other people's story, and so I thought that sharing my story, it could help you to take courage and go through whatever is the process you're going through in your life, and then come out of the other side. When you are in the process, you can't really see. You feel the sorrow, the pain, the despair, frustration, whatever it is you are in. And it's very difficult to understand where you're at. You don't know. So sometimes when you read what happened to somebody else, with hindsight, it's so much easier to see the steps that one has taken, what one has thought, what one has done, and what happened to you to make it all easier and then come out of the other side. So you can be the phoenix like me. I turned from a heartbroken woman into a free woman who embarked on an adventure to Antarctica. I never thought I would do that. And I also traveled on my own in South America. Then to come all the way back home and have another crisis because I couldn't fit back into my old life. So I had to go through that crisis to then come out of the other end again, to actually realize that I wanted to learn to fly. I became a pilot. I found the love of my life, and also I became a menstrual coach. Yes, a menstrual coach. I teach women the beauty of their body, to appreciate their female cycle. So this happened because I started listening to my heart. When life knocks at your door, you have to listen. So this can happen to you too. I am Gabriella Guglielminotti-Trivel, and I also the founder of Flying Inspiration, a space where you can explore your inner potential. I'm an author, a visionary, and a female psycho consultant. And I wrote The Phoenix Rises from the Ice in Antarctica to help you reboot your life. There's always a good reason to reboot your life, to follow your pleasure trail. And I would like to leave you with the final line of my book, Antarctic Odyssey: A New Beginning, which is, life is a journey of the heart. The mind is only a helper, and the soul is the adventurer. Reboot your life, reach for the sky, and you will get everything you want.
Sometimes your dreams have to die for you to grow. And that's what happened to me in this 1 week from hell, where just huge things happened in my life. I called off my engagement, called off my wedding, broke up with my fiance. I then 2 days later hit this moment of clarity where I realized I didn't want to be in a corporate job anymore, and that my side business was doing well enough for me to actually leave my job. And so then 2 days later, I quit my job. And on top of that, at the end of the week, I had to find my first assistant, my first employee in my business. And it just taught me so much this whole week that life is always going to be ups and downs. You know, there's going to be times where you're going to get tested, and it's kind of like, you know, it feels like it slows down, but it's time for you to step up and for you to move forward. And to sometimes you need that reboot, you need that kick up so that you can actually go and become more of who you are, because your old dreams were keeping you stuck. Your old dreams you were buying into because of someone else's dreams. It's not actually your own. That's what I realized for myself. So guys, I'm Richard Fu. I'm from The Ultimate Man and richardfu.com, the place to be for authenticity, love, and courage. And this is what I learned in my week of hell. In my week of hell, I realized that dreams have to die in order for me to grow and for me to be who I'm meant to be. And so this is what you're getting a chance to see, the reboot of your life. It's a chance to not just reboot your life. It's like a computer. Sometimes our life runs to a crawl and then nothing happens and you feel like you're grinding your head against a wall, and you just need to hit that button and you restart your life, because that's where you can actually go faster and go further than you ever thought you could when you're able to reboot your life and to take it as a reboot rather than a restart. Yeah, because you can actually start this at any time you want. So make sure you read this chapter. Make sure you read this book, because there's not just my story, but many other amazing stories in here you must read. And most of all, if you're going through a reboot, if you know someone who's going through a reboot, then make sure you share this video and this book out with them, because they need to know one thing. They need to know that life is always going to require you to reboot, to restart, to re-engage with yourself, and to redefine yourself, because we're like an onion, right? You're going to find new layers every time you crack open further and deeper about yourself. So make sure you understand that a reboot is not the end. It's just a whole new chapter. It's a whole new beginning. It's a chance for you to step into the unknown so that you can light up the room. You can light up your life, and you discover even more about you, who you really are. Guys, that's me. I'm Richard Fu from The Ultimate Man. Make sure you head on over to richardfu.com. Check out more just like this.